at the Near Hacker House in Miami. Just over there, we've got a live conversation going over our shoulders. We've got some folks that are hacking. You're a weaver of Web3. What are you weaving?
Well, I'm helping people weave their own chains today. So we really love and support Near Protocol, but also sometimes you need your own blockchain. You need to manage your own economy, your own gas structure, your own governance behind that gas structure. We're the answer to that, built on Near Protocol. So we're real happy that the majority of people here today are going to be building on Near, but for those who really need their own chain, we're happy to offer solutions that make that easier for them. So that's been really fun talking to people about in different ways.
And so why would someone need their own chain? Let's talk about that. Why?
Sure. So when you're on a layer one blockchain, even one as excellent as Near, you have to be sympathetic to the rest of the gas experience, to the rest of other people's operations. There's only so many validators that can process your transactions, and they have lots of transactions to manage, focus on, be prepared for. When you want specific requirements like, hey, I need an extra database for managing keys, or hey, I need to make external calls to make this Oracle system work that I designed. It's not that you can't do that on Near Protocol, you can, but it's tough to schedule it so that it will be within the same cost that you initially budget over time. Even though Near's gas cost over time is a great plan, and I highly recommend anyone look at that because it's really easy to track and keep pace with. But if I went through a 10x jump in costs for my business, then I'd probably have to shut down, right? So it's much easier for me to say, okay, I'm going to take the benefits of Near Protocol and exist near that economy and that structure and say, okay, I want my own economy to be more prepared for these specific things that I want to do, like an Oracle service or managing something slightly off chain that's part of my app.
Got it. And so yourself in Octopus Network, right there. How did you get into Octopus Network? What's your story?
So I heard about Octopus Network last year in a community that I've been moderating for, I guess, about 4 years now, called Crypto Malaysia. I was just some American.
Malaysia.
Right. I was just some American who walked in and said, hey, it's a bear market. People are bored, but I want to help, and there's still interesting things to do.
Which bear market was this? What year?
This was between the ICO period and DeFi summer. So in that long stretch, there was a lot of smaller things that came up and went, and we were still looking for interesting stuff, even though it wasn't the best time in the world to be trading digital assets, right? So in that arena, I met a very good friend who's now marketing and operations director at Octopus Network. His name is Aaron Ting. I'm very proud and honored that he asked me to come help out, and I happen to be a good fit for what they need. So I took a look at their project when he first posted it in July of 2021. And I thought it was really great stuff, and I think I might have been the only comment on that post because some people didn't quite understand. It's a little bit unusual to say application-specific blockchain today. That's not really the lay of the land that we're used to, right? So I thought that was great because I'm obsessed with resource management. I was like, hey, if I'm going to ask people to stand up computers specifically to run my decentralized application, I want to choose the details of what those computers have. Maybe not certain high levels of RAM or certain high levels of storage, but hey, I need to make sure you have this extra infrared feature. I want to make sure that you have Windows Hello for authentication, let's say. That's not my thing, but some people will like that. So I was just really excited by the concept, and I kept in touch and kept an eye on it for a couple of months, and then a few months later it was, hey, we have need for your services. Would you like to join? And I said, well, I can't abandon my day job, so as long as you're comfortable with me sticking around and contributing, then that's cool. And I'm very proud to tell you that as of this week, I no longer need that day job. I'm full-time helping Octopus Network grow.
Awesome. So you have experience in the Web 2 world, as we'll say, and the Web 3 world. So for folks out there that are looking to make that transition that you have now successfully made to being full-time in Web 3, what would be some of your recommendations or tips?
Sure. So I'd say probably the first tip is be ready to work part-time in Web 3. Whenever you make an industry change of any type, you have to understand there's going to be some time spent that isn't your 9 to 5. And I know that sucks and it's not what most people want to hear, but at the same time, if you're going to keep your regular revenue as is and switch to a new industry as well, you have to leave room for your own adjustment for that. Not necessarily the market, not necessarily your personal time, but your strategic understanding is going to change a little bit. It doesn't have to be Web 2 to Web 3. That could be Web 2 to the oil and gas industry, There's still some human relationships and some capital relationships that are very different, and it takes time to get used to how that impacts people. So I've been helping out in digital asset spaces, almost Web3 spaces for many years, and that made it easier for me to understand. Okay, in Web3, these are the things we actually care about. These are motivations that align personally with my morals, for instance. So it was much easier for me to sort of grow into Web3 because I had a backing experience, not just in Web2, but also in digital assets, just in a more general sense.
And so as we wrap up here, let's talk about some of those morals. Maybe pick one in particular that rises to the top for you. What is that moral? If you could expand upon it a little bit, just to let everyone understand, a little bit about the community and what's really inherent in this world of blockchain technology and quote unquote Web3.
Sure. So it's a common cry and has been for many years that we should be able to control our own data. And while that's true, if we should be able to control our own data based on a gift from someone else, we don't actually have control. We have someone else saying, oh, we're going to give you this gift and you will tolerate that we still maintain control because we make it seem like you have control of your information. So that's one of the primary things in Web3 that really just does it for me, because there's a larger understanding and a cultural macro understanding of, okay, you produce that data. It shouldn't necessarily be a profit for somebody else, but it should at least be a benefit to you, and you should have control over that.
Well, we could talk about this topic for hours upon hours, but for now, we'll go back to the Hacker House.
I'm game.
Thanks so much, Sheldon. Thank you so much.
Been a pleasure.